It's sad, though. It's sad that being one of the richest countries in the world, that we have a population that is being destroyed.
The humans adapt to survive. It's not always a fun thing, you know. I've been out there a long time. When I talk to other people that haven't spoken to the homeless, or let's face it, most people don't speak to them. If you get to know somebody that's close to your house, or somebody that you see, you may start a conversation. But a lot of them been drugs right away. But if you read the bios, a lot of them are taking drugs. There's a lot of big drug problem. But that might not be the main reason that they are homeless. A large percentage of them have a trauma, whether it be the loss of a loved one, abuse. This girl over here, she was shot 4 times and left for dead. You know, this man over here, 3 years old, he was raped by his uncle and went on for 10 years. Everybody has a story. The gentleman over in the Navy had, who was blown up in Desert Storm. He hadn't received his disability yet. It was 30 years ago when I spoke to him 2 years ago. Everybody has stories. He's not on wildlife on a lot of them are very willing to say exactly what's happening, and then some, you know, that they're fudging a little bit, because some people say, you know, I go to drugs and they're okay, that's fine, you know. But it's that what they have to do to survive out there. And everybody has a story. A lot of the trauma that they've gone through is not an attitude problem that, you know, that they just don't want to deal. They have a serious medical condition that can be addressed. Get those services that they do. There's a lot that needs to be done. Now, everybody should do their part, wherever that is. I can do photography. So that's how I try and help out in doing what I do. Some people can get money because they have that and they have the heart to want to do that. Other people can go out and organize, talk to people, and there's different, you know, what do they call it, NGOs, different organizations, some deal with housing, and the doctors will do the street medicine. Everybody can do their part, whatever that is. You can always do something. You don't have to do what somebody else is doing. You find what it is that you can do. And since you're here getting out the message, getting out, creating more awareness, that's what everybody can do. I don't have all the answers, and sometimes you ask me, what are you going to do? What's going to happen? I go, you tell me what you think needs to be done. You're the one that knows that you're the one out here living. You speak. You see, when I walk up to them, I walk up to them with a camera in one hand and a $5 bill in the other. Immediately, I tell them that I'm doing a project to create awareness and hopefully get the outreach. Do you want to participate? They say yes, and I hand them the $5 bills before I even ask them a question or take a picture. And they decide what it is. And then we sit down and we talk. Like Donnie, they call her Sarge. One of the questions is, are you a veteran? And she says, yes, but I don't want to talk about it. So we sat and we talked about anything else, just to spend time. And then she changed the subject and she told me her specialty was demolitions, because she didn't want to talk about it. When we talked some more, then she told me that she used to blow up the jungle so they wouldn't fight. That's how she dealt with it. That's how she saw it. She was preventing people from fighting. But she did say she felt bad about the little animals that got hurt. That's trauma. Most of these people have trauma and have drugs. Something really big deal what they call for their situation. So don't be too hard to judge people that are out there going through it. They're doing the best they can for the most part. You run into some people. This one guy told me his aunt was Queen Mary, you know. And so there's all kinds of people. If you get more than 2 or 3 together, somebody's going to be a smart aleck and start talking out of it. But when you get them by themselves, sometimes you can see that there's a little bit of hope, maybe something will be
faces, because it shows that the harsh life that people have in Visalia that we probably don't get to really see as often as, other times. Because I know, like, from time to time, like, I'll see, like, a homeless person, and I'll be like, oh, that sucks. But these photos really show, like, the true, I guess, hardships that they go through on the day-to-day basis that we don't really get to see. And you get to see their stories, too, about, what life they led before this and before all that. Because most of them served in the military, from what I was reading. And it sucks that they're not really treated as well as they probably should be for serving the country.
What inspired you to start doing this?
I've always kind of like had an interest in it. I've always liked photography. And once I could afford actually to get a camera, I tried to do different things. And I think the first time I took pictures of a homeless person, I was on the way to my son's soccer game out at Golden West, where they were probably 10 years old. Then I saw this guy underneath the bridge, and I had my camera with me, and I stopped at the pictures, and we talked just shortly on the way. Then a couple of times during the year, but when I got started on this, it was a little bit before the 4th of July, and I saw a lot of people with their boats hooked up to their trucks and bikes tied to the front of the vehicles, and everybody's getting ready for the long weekend. And I saw this lady sitting out on the sidewalk, talking to herself, all of her stuff scattered, wearing 2 different pairs of socks. And I thought I had something to talk to her. And then from there, I turned off. I stopped to talk to somebody else, somebody else. And I realized there was something that I could do. One guy, it was in June or July, and he was asleep in the parking lot of Mary's Vineyard. It was over 100 degrees. He was asleep, looked like on the asphalt. I didn't know if he was asleep or dead. So I went up to talk to him, and he was there, and he asked me if I could help him sit up. So I helped him sit up, and he fell over, and boom, he bounces off the thing, So he asked me again how to set up. He sat up and started talking. And then I asked him if I could put him in the shade, because it was sunny, and they have the divider for cars. So I got behind him, and I lifted him and got him over that. He was pretty drunk, into the shade. We talked a little bit, and I was going to walk away, and he said, "You have to go. Can you sit and talk with me?" So we went back and sat down and just talked. He just wanted some company. Until he laid back out, and he got asleep in the shade. Didn't hurt to spend a few more minutes with him. To him, that's all he wanted, just somebody to talk to. You do what you can, whatever that is. You have to decide what it is that you can do. It's everything, right? Vote. Vote. Everybody can do that.
This show has been very authentic, raw, real. Every story that is displayed here gets me more and more frustrated about the situation, about the circumstances, about the journeys of all of these individuals who are unhoused. And so I'm appreciative of Mr. Vázquez for being able to display this here so that we continue to keep this in our mind, and what we do with it is on us, right? It's making sure that create policies that will directly impact this population, and to make sure that we do what is right, what is just, and what is needed to move forward for this community. And so,
yes.
You've been doing this for like the last 2 or 3 years. How many repeats? Are you still seeing the same people? Have you lost a lot of them? I mean, are you still frequent the same places?
This last year, I have seen not a whole lot of the same people. I had regulars that I would run into on my regular route, like go to Winco or something, and we'd stop and I'd just get down and we'd talk. We'd sit and talk. Dottie, I like talking to her. She's funny. She's she's a funny lady. She likes sitting and talking. She'll see me coming and say, hey! She get all excited. And we'll just sit and talk. So if I run across them, we'll sit and talk. Now I have gone looking for them before this so that I can let them know that it's happening. It's happening. And this is the flyer. This is when it's going to be. But sometimes it's really hard to find them. It's hard to find them. I went out to delivery where there was a large encampment. I went out there just a few days ago, and it's gone. Everything. I mean, there was a big open field, and there was a ton of tents, but it's no longer there. Where are they at? I don't know. So when I ran across them, and when I look for them, a lot of times you find them, sometimes you don't.
Who was the first person that you photographed? Was that the person that started you through the series? If not, who was the person that had the biggest impact on you when you shared your story?
Okay. The person that maybe had the biggest impact, there are two. The veteran there that got blown up. And I won't tell you the story yet that you probably know. I was registering voters outside of the furnace, and I registered his wife. And I said, what about your husband? And she said, well, he doesn't really talk to people too much. I was going to ask him, and if he doesn't want to, that's fine. And she went over and talked to him, and she came back and she said, yeah, he does. So, but I couldn't do it then because I was registering voters, and to take a picture, I had to do it on my iPhone. So I asked where they were staying, and they told me where they lived. Behind the bathroom lot at the sports park. And so I went looking for him and I spoke to his wife, and she told me he had taken out to go do some panhandling for the morning and what kind of life he was driving, and I stopped to talk to him. And I started to talk to him, he was sitting next to a guy, and that guy kept trying to interrupt to try and help him with the conversation. And I had to turn to him and I said, I know you're trying to help, but the interview was with him and I had to have it in his words. When we're done, if you want to add something, I'll let you know when it's your turn and I'll give you a chance. Once he started talking, the other guy was just as surprised as me, and he kept his mouth shut. And he went on because he had a chance to tell the story. The guy he was sitting next to had no idea what he had been through. He still hadn't gotten his disability. It had been 30 years. It had been 30 years since he broke it too. And he was still defending the VA because they were behind his court.
You've been talking to people and talking to people out in the streets for a long time. Is there anything that surprised you?
One thing that surprised me a little bit is I walked up to a guy and I wasn't sure if he was homeless. I was pretty sure, but you know, he was up there down there probably if he was or not. So I asked my brother, excuse me, hopefully I don't offend you, but I just had a question. I'm doing a project on the unhoused population and I'm interviewing people and talking to them. Again, I don't mean to offend you, but are you an unhoused person? He goes, well, kind of, sort of. I said, what does that mean? He goes, I live right over there, under the bridge. He didn't consider himself homeless because he had a place where he was living under the bridge. And that was early on when I started doing it, and I realized that these people consider this their home, even if it's only temporary, that they do have a place.
And I'm just very moved by all of these pictures and the sadness in all of them, and how much people age when they're out on the street and living rough, as they say in England. I mean, the pictures are magnificent, and I don't know, I wish I knew what I could do to help them. You know, I really, truly do.